history has become very important, and people have started giving some credit to those sources which are not proven, which don't have any proof. That is the oral history. Then the legends, myths, tales, songs, toponymy, all have something to do with the contribution to the recreation of the history. Wherever there is no written source, wherever there is no archaeological source, wherever there is no evidence, there the oral tradition comes into the forefront. Among the Karbis, there is one song where there is one word, Lasa Lelo. Lasa Lelo means we arrived Lasa. Apart from that, there is no reference of Lhasa anywhere. So from that, it is now derived that the Karbis came through Lhasa of Tibet. So, in this way, and there is one more term they have been using. In Karbi, Po is for great or father. They have these terms, Kuki Chindai Po. Now, they could not tell me what is the meaning of Kuki Chindai Po. Then I tried to break it. Po is for father or great, and Dai is from, it has some other say inflection, it is an inflection. Then Chin, Kuki and Chin. I segregated these two terms, Kuki, Chin. Then I talked with their people, talked with some elderly people. Then they say that they were Kuki Chin people. So, in this way there are some references in their songs, in their tales, in the myths also. In the myths, how did the Ahuns come to Assam? They came down through a golden ladder. So that ladder actually has some trees on it. It might be the Patkai range. No? So in folklore or in literature, many things are expressed symbolically, and many things are said cryptically. It is not expressed in a straightforward manner. So we have to understand from that that the golden ladder may not be actually made of gold. It may be made of the Patkai hill also. So in this way, it states that. So then in case of toponymy, how many of you are familiar with this term, toponymy? One. Anybody else? Two. Anybody? So toponymy, yeah, there are some other terms also to denote toponymy. Are you familiar with any other term? Anthroponymy. And any other?
Topography.
No, topography is different. Topography is the landscape. Toponymy is the name. There is another term called onomastics. Onomastics, toponymy, anthroponymy, then place names. All these are for the same thing. By studying place names also, we can reconstruct history. Dharapur, how did it become Dharapur? What is the reason of calling this place Dharapur? Instead of calling Dharapur, why is it not called as Palengpur? Dhara, why Dhara? In Kamrupiya, Dhara is the bed, or the place where you sleep, isn't it? Or the place where you lay your paddies to dry in the sun, that bamboo mat. So when you try to find out the meanings or the significance of the place names, then also you contribute to the reconstruction of the history. There are some people working on it. Nowadays, some people have specialized on working or contributing to history through this particular branch, toponymy. In Assam we have one, Dr. Kumar Pupon. He has written a book, Place Names Associated with Shankardeva, and we have published it. So, toponymy is one thing through which we can look at history. Then in political science, many are from political science, isn't it? How many from political science? 1, Vagon, 2, anybody? No. Okay. You are all familiar with political science. What you study in political science, you all know. You begin from Plato and Aristotle and end at Rajiv Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi, isn't it? So it is the functioning of the state actually. It is the administration that is studied in political science. There are many aspects of it. We have constitutions for conducting administration, then we have elections, then we have big governments, small governments. Some small governments are called local self-governments. Then there are different types of governments. There are anarchy. Anarchy? Is anarchy a government? Anarchy is not a government. Monarchy is a government, isn't it? Monarchy, then democracy. So, all these things are studied. Then there are organizations at the village level, to the state level, then to the level of the country, then to the world level of the world. All these things are studied in political science. Now, these things came into being only after the discipline of political science was introduced by some scholars, and it was studied in schools and colleges and universities. But our villagers, they never go to universities. They did not go, our forefathers, they did not go to study political science, but yet they ruled their village very nicely. They used to rule their village, and they, how did they rule? In different areas there are different types of administration. There was zamindari at some places. Then there were sarpanch at in some places. Then there were tribal chiefs. Gram Pradhan, that is the Gampura. Mukhiya.
In small areas like
Matbar. And there is one very important agency of administration, that is the Rajmao. Do you know what is Rajmao? That is the mother of the king. In every house there is a Rajmao. And it is run according to that. The family is run according to the family Rajmao, and then the village is run according to the chief. And the chief runs according to his Rajmao. Therefore, it is like the logical fallacy. The general rules the army, the wife rules the general, therefore the wife rules the army. It is a logical fallacy, but in fact it is something like that. The women had a very strong role. Though not officially, though not obviously, it was at least in a roundabout way a very strong role, particularly in the northeastern part. And because of that, we had, not because of that rather, we had the matrilineal and matriarchal societies, where the women folk used to be the owners of properties, and the genealogy ran in their names, the names of the women folk. It is the title of the mother that is taken by the son, not the father's title. There are systems like that. So, and there are some societies where the children take the father's title, but the mother does not take the husband's title. The mother takes her own maternal title. Nowadays, of course, it has reverted. In every society, the maternal title is maintained. Otherwise, you have to make an affidavit and change the name of the matriculation certificate. It is very difficult. So most of you, working women, most of you will be seeing that you have been retaining your maternal title. because it is very difficult to, or it is very cumbersome actually. And it is not necessary also unless your husband objected. So, the traditional administration from the village level to the level of the king is studied in political science and from a different angle in folklore also. And the customary laws. This is a common ground for the law department also. The lawyers also study customary law. In the Guwahati High Court, there is a Law Research Institute, and incidentally, the director of the Law Research Institute is a folklorist. He is a PhD from our department, Rangaranjan Das. Yeah. So that was formerly headed by Jyoti Borua, a lady, a very scholarly lady, a lawyer, of course. Rango is not a lawyer, but Jyoti Borua was a lawyer. So in that Law Research Institute, they had started studying the customary laws. As early as the 50s, in the 1950s, they started compiling the customary laws of all the communities in Assam. At that time, Assam was Northeast India. All the states, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Mizoram, Manipur, apart from Tripura, all these states were Assam at that time, and they began studying the customary laws of all the states, and they wrote a monograph each. If you go to their institute, you will find it. They did not publish it as a book. They made some. Do you know what is cyclostyle? Cyclostyle? You know MLA style?
Yes.
APA style? Do you know what is cyclostyle? One form of typing. Yeah. It is a typing on a tracing paper and then revolving it just like the printing press and taking out copies.